All right, everyone. A little special proclamation here today for the 55th annual presentation today of the Crew of Driftwood Parade and the Driftwood Subdivision in District 3. Take your seats, please. Ooh, that's a hunter's gavel right there. Wow. All right, thank you all so much for your attention. I wear this jacket every year during this special occasion. My neighborhood, we have this great neighborhood parade. There's not many neighborhoods in the United States of America that can lay claim that they have their own parade. And this parade's been going on for generations now, almost three. The people that moved in Driftwood in 1970 when the neighborhood was first being built. Since that time, it's been a tradition for king and queens, obviously, to reign over the crew. And it's chosen every year based on long participation in the neighborhood, whether in the Civic Association, whether their time at Gladys Playground, recreation, or for work with the city, or for philanthropic initiatives. This year I have the queen of 2 years ago, Christine Ross, who is the Driftwood currently, well, she was the president, but what's it? This is the lady that does everything in Driftwood. She runs the parade. She does an absolute fantastic job, and she doesn't get enough credit. And I want to first thank you, Christine, for all the work you do in setting everything up. Thank you so much. Without someone like her, nothing happens. So without further ado, I want to do ladies first tonight. I'm going to bring up the queen. The queen of the 2025 Driftwood Parade is Queen Robin Schlosser. It's Queen 55, right? Queen 55. Okay, I got it. Okay. So Robin will reign as Queen 55 of the Crew of Driftwood on Saturday, February 15, 2025. Whereas Ms. Schlosser has been a resident of Driftwood Park for more than 38 years, where she and her beloved husband, Tony, raised 3 beautiful daughters. And whereas Robin's girls were young, she began volunteering her time across many organizations that enjoyed coaching cheerleading and softball at Gladys Playground, organized neighborhood sock hops at the Driftwood Park Country Club, was among her favorite hobbies. Whereas Robin and her family were parishioners at St. Mary Magdalene Church, where her daughters attended school. There she chaired many committees on the Parents Club board while serving as room mom and Girl Scout troop leader. She also volunteered and sponsored numerous booths at the annual parish fair. Whereas Robin's daughters moved on to Archbishop Chappelle High School, good choice, she began lending her hand there immediately. Robin chaired Prom Fest, the craft fair, the annual Emerald Gala. Outside of volunteer work, Robin has contributed to the business community, owning several businesses in Kenner over the years. Whereas it is with pride that the 55th Crew of Driftwood announces as Queen, Robin Schlosser, may her reign be joyous. Now, therefore, myself and Mayor Michael Glazer, along with the members of the Kenner City Council, Chief Police Keith Connolly, do hereby congratulate Ms. Robin Schlosser on being named Queen 55 of the 2025 Crew of Driftwood on this 51st year. All hail Queen Robin. There's your flag. This is the fun thing. We got a queen flag. These are the flags we all hang outside of our houses in Driftwood during this time of year. This is the queen. She'll have this forever.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to do a big picture. Okay. You want a speech real quick? Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate everybody's attention for this. We're honored to serve, and we appreciate all the hard work that everyone does in our neighborhood to keep this tradition up. It wouldn't happen without people like Christine, who does a wonderful job. And so we're honored, we're excited, and we hope we see all of y'all on the parade route on the 15th of February, next Saturday. And happy Mardi Gras. Thank you.
All right. Now it's time for King Charlie. Please come up, Charlie. It's a little difficult right now because it's hard because we had the King and Queen party at my house Friday night, and I met Charlie a couple of times before, but we talked about his wife, Joan, who had a triple bypass in December. And the plans were for me to go parade morning after I picked up Jeannie Black in the golf cart, like I always do. When Miss Jeannie makes me drink tequila, you can blame the councilwoman for that. The plan was for me to go pick up Joan with Charlie and get Joan to the toast. Joan passed away Sunday, 48 hours after that party, and it was a shock. I had no idea that that was happening, and I don't think Charlie did either. And before I read this, I told Charlie we can defer this to next year, do whatever, absolutely anything you wanted, but he said his wife wanted him to do this and was very honored that he was chosen for this king role in this long-standing tradition of the neighborhood, and it was his absolute call. He wants to roll. His wife wanted him to roll in this parade next week. And we love you so much. Everybody here loves you. I haven't known you that long, but everybody in this room knows who you are. And you're a Jesuit family, which I love. A good Blue Jay, and you've done a lot for this. I'm going to read your proclamation right now, okay? Whereas His Majesty King Charles Friel will reign as King 55 of the Crew of Driftwood on Saturday, February 15, 2025. Where Mr. Friel has been a resident of Driftwood Park for more than 45 years, where he raised his beautiful family and has been an active member of the local community, served in multiple roles at Gladys Playground, Driftwood Park Country Club, and the city of Kenner. Whereas whether coaching at the playground or serving as a treasurer of the country club, Mr. Friel generously volunteered his time and talents to making Driftwood a wonderful place to live and raise a family. Whereas after spending his early years in Georgia and graduating from Georgia Tech, Charlie Friel arrived in the New Orleans area in 1967. He was working as a chemical engineer for Shell when he met his beloved wife, Joan, with whom he celebrated his 55th wedding anniversary this past year. Whereas he decided to change career paths and after receiving an MBA from Tulane University, Charlie began a distinguished career in banking in New Orleans. Charlie and Joan settled down in Driftwood Park, where they raised their daughter and 3 sons. Whereas after retiring from Chase as a senior vice president, Charlie has devoted his time to additional community philanthropic organizations. He's currently a member of the City of Kenner zoning adjustments and involved in numerous activities of St. Jerome Parish. Charlie previously served on multiple City of Kenner boards, the Chappelle High School Board, the Jesuit High School Athletic Board. He served as Vice President of Youth Soccer for the state of Louisiana on the Lafayette Soccer Association Board of Directors. He is a past recipient of the St. Louis Medallion Award given by the Archdiocese of New Orleans, whereas Charlie cherishes his time with his family, enjoys spending time with his children, their 4 spouses, and 13 grandchildren. Whereas with pride that the 55th Crew of Driftwood announces its king, Charles Friel, may his reign be joyous. Therefore, myself, Councilman Joey Lahat, Kenner City Mayor Michael J. Glazer, along with the entire members of the Kenner City Council, Chief Police Keith Conley, to hereby congratulate Mr. Charlie Friel on being named King 55 of the 2025 Crew of Driftwood on its 55th year. All hail King Charlie.
I'm not sure what to say after that. That was, as Joey said, I was very perplexed last weekend as to what to do as with regard to the Driftwood Parade. And it was a unanimous decision with my 4 children that Joan would want me to continue. So I will continue. Joy has told me we're going to have beautiful weather, so we're going to have a good time, and there will be a lot of tears tomorrow, but there will be a lot of joy on the following Saturday. So I look forward to all of you coming out, enjoying the parade, and enjoying the good weather.
All right, Rob, we're going to get you to do a picture with the City Council, Mayor and Police Chief, both of you, please. Hey, Charlie, come up here.
Which way do we go?
It's all
if you would please keep the father of Kenny Ford, a District 5 resident, in your prayers. His father passed away this past week, and Kenny's a longtime Kenner resident and District 5 resident, so please keep the family in your prayers. Thank you, Council Chair.
Sir? Councilman Hat.
Yeah. Obviously, Miss Joan Friel, who I just mentioned at the podium, please, special prayers for her and the entire family.
Councilwoman Dunn.
Pastor Terry Lewis' mother-in-law, Lynn Lewis' mother, passed away on this morning, so we're asking prayer for the family.
I have one myself. A fellow fireman, a brother fireman, a brother DeMolay, brother Mason, passed away, Stephen Hucks, last week. Please keep him and his family in our prayers. Thank you. Anyone else? Councilwoman Dunn, would you please lead us in prayer? May everybody please stand?
Let us bow our heads. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, as we come to you this hour in the evening, we just want to come and tell you thank you for all the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. Lord, they're bereaved that are among us in the city of Kenner, but you've heard the names, and we pray, dear God, that you would uplift these families in the time that they are going through the bereavements of their families and their loved ones. Lord, I pray today for a safe Super Bowl weekend, dear God. There are many among thousands that are embarking upon the city of New Orleans, but coming through Kenner, dear God, I pray that you would be with them and allow everyone to enjoy themselves in this weekend. I pray, dear God, for the city of Kenner, for the mayor, for the police chief, for the fire chief, for the council, for the administration, for those that makes up this council. And I pray that you would give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that we will be able to move this city forward, dear God, in the way that you would have it to go. Thank you for blessing us right now, dear God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Councilman Lahat, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum. In accordance with Council Resolution Number B14550, please be advised that all cellular telephones and other devices of this nature must be deactivated or silenced throughout the council meeting. Next up, we have correspondence, reports from the mayor, CAO, or department heads.
Mr. Mayor?
Well, thank you. I'll be relatively brief. I know Councilwoman Dunn and Councilman Joey Lahat have some announcements at the end of the about things that are going on in their districts. But this Saturday at Buddy Lawson Gym, we have a community recreation showcase from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So anyone, it's open to the public. It'll be showcasing everything we have here in the city of Kenner. I believe you said there's maybe some demonstrations by the cheerleaders, soccer, Zumba, adaptive sports. So it's open to the public, 10 to 2, Buddy Lawson. And also, I guess, some housekeeping with running government. We're in the budget cycle starting pretty much, this last week. So I believe tomorrow is the deadline for the departments to submit their budgets to the finance department. So we'll have budget hearings coming up later. So look out for that if anybody wants to participate in the hearings here in this chamber when we take the departments one by one. And with that, that's it. Oh, and I'd also like to thank Luis Rodriguez, who is the current clerk of court. I believe today or tomorrow is his last day. He's moving on to bigger and better pastures. Well, he'll be working for the Louisiana Supreme Court and carrying his doctorate around. So he's going to be pretty good. So he may have some spare time now, but I'd like to wish you well, Luis. Thank you. That's it.
Do we have any resolutions, motions, or other items from the floor? Seeing none, under the consent agenda, we have item 1, approval of the minutes, the regular council meeting of January 24, 2025. Item 2 is approval of alcoholic beverage permit applications. We have none. Item 3 is approval of bingo and public gathering applications. Item 3A is application number 2443-25, City of Kenner, to hold a public gathering on March 3, 2025, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the purpose of a Lundy Gras Festival at Rivertown Parking Lot, 400 block of Williams Boulevard in Kenner, Louisiana. Item 3B is application number 2441-25, John James Audubon School, to hold a public gathering on February 27, 2025, from 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. for the purpose of a Mardi Gras parade at John James Audubon School, 200 West Loyola Drive, and surrounding neighborhood. That will conclude the consent agenda. I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Brennan. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Under the public appearance agenda, we have item 8, public hearings and final passage. We have none. Item 9 is ordinances for the sale, purchase, transfer, lease, and/or alienation of immovable property. We have none. Item 10 is opening of bids. We have none. Item 11 is reclassification of zoning for final passage. Item 11A is a public hearing regarding summary ordinance number 13,727, an ordinance approving the re-subdivision of Lot C and a portion of Gordon Avenue right-of-way, Square 1 and Lot B1, Square 2, Hanson Place subdivision into new lot YUR, Hanson Place subdivision, and rezoning new lot YUR from special industrial and light industrial to special industrial, Hanson Place subdivision, Kenner Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, according to a survey by Linfield Hunter and Juniors Incorporated dated May 10, 2024, which properties are owned by DMY Properties, LLC. Have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood, to open the public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. We're now in a public hearing. If there's anyone wishing to address the council, please come forward. Seeing none, I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember...
Hold on.
Oh, okay. Go
Yes,
ahead.
please.
Mr. Slawinski is currently serving fulfilling his civic obligation and serving on a jury right now, so you just got me for today. This is case Z624. It's to approve the re-subdivision of Lot C and a portion of the Gordon Avenue right-of-way, Square 1 and Lot B1, Square 2, Hanson Place subdivision, into new Lot YUR, Hanson Place subdivision, and rezoning a portion of new Lot YUR from LI, Light Industrial, to SI, Special Industrial. The property is owned by DMY LLC, 105 West 3rd Street, Kenner. The subject property is bound by the Mississippi River levee on the south, 3rd Street on the north and west, and north and west, and by Alliance Avenue on the east. The site is developed as YUR Event Rentals. The rezoning of the light industrial portion of the property is a down zoning as the special industrial district allows for less intense uses. The proposal is consistent with the pattern for Progress Future Land Use Plan, and the Planning Commission has recommended approval for this case. If you have any questions.
Councilmember Dunn.
Yeah, I just have one thing to say. When we had the neighborhood meeting, there was only one person that showed up, and she was for the rezoning, and her questions had nothing to do with this, so I'm definitely in favor of it.
Seeing no further discussion, I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood to close the public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 12 is other ordinances for final passage. We have none. Item 13 is resolutions and motions by council members. Item 13A is a resolution temporarily suspending Council Rule Number 11 of the Rules of Organization, Business, Order, and/or Procedure of the Council of the City of Kenner and rescheduling the Kenner City Council agenda deadline to Friday, February 14, 2025 at noon for the council meeting of February 21st, 2025. I I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot. All council members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 13B is a resolution adopting the repetitive loss area analysis completed by Jefferson Parish Floodplain Management and Hazard Mitigation Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood. Councilmember Wilmot?
I just have a question on this one. I just wanted to know the impact.
The impact of the analyses?
Yes.
Well, by having this, FEMA always wants any type of documentation that we can have, and extremely grateful to have that Jefferson Parish was able to do our data analysis. The more mapping, the more information that we are able to provide will help us get the federal funding and assistance in the time of any type of disaster or natural floods as we experienced this past year.
So it's repetitive loss area analysis.
Yes.
Is this change the geographical area in any way?
No, sir. No, sir. It's just identifying typically what a repetitive loss property is that you've experienced a flood event within more than one flood event within a 10-year period.
And
So
how often do we do these?
this is our first repetitive loss analysis in probably some years. I couldn't even give you an estimate as to when it was last performed.
Does it have any impact on flood insurance ratings?
It will assist us in getting the assistance that's needed. So you have a lot of homes that are, and say for instance in the University City area, those houses have been subject to repetitive loss as a result of flooding. What this will do will allow those individuals and give them some assistance, if it's designated as such, to get more federal funding for mitigation, be it through elevation or rebuilding of a home. So it's certainly an exceptional tool for us to have here in the city.
Very good. Thank you for that explanation.
All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 14 is items removed from the consent agenda. We have none. Item 15 is acceptance of contracts and similar matters approved by the mayor. Item 15A is summary ordinance number 13,728, an ordinance approving amendment number 1 to the agreement with New Orleans Dent Repair Incorporated for automotive body damage repairs, increasing the not-to-exceed amount by $100,000 annually for a total not-to-exceed amount of $250,000 annually for the Department of Fleet Management and Police. I have a motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot. All council members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15B is summary ordinance number 13,729, an ordinance approving change order number 1 to the agreement with Johnson Controls Fire Division dated July 2nd, 2024 regarding the fire alarm beam detectors installation at the Pontchartrain Convention and Civic Center for a net increase of $3,445.24 for a total of $35,915.92 for the General Services Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Brennan. Councilmember Wilmot?
Yeah, Mr. Gonzalez, as far as this one's concerned, I understand that it's just wiring in Hall C wasn't taken into account, and this increase covers Hall C, so it's wiring issues. And is anything else? Okay. All right, very good. Thank you. That's all.
Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15C is a summary ordinance number 13,730, an ordinance approving a professional services agreement with Burke Klein Peter Incorporated regarding an entity/state agreement for LA 48 Kenner Levee Trailhead Expansion Project, state project number H.013370, federal aid project number H013370, and an amount not to exceed $155,160 for the Department of Public Works. I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Dunn. All council members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15D is summary ordinance number 13,731, An ordinance approving change order number 1, final, to the agreement with Cass Brothers Incorporated dated August 24, 2023 regarding Powell Boulevard median improvements, state project number H.011779, federal aid project number H.011779, Kenner Public Works project number 2014-001B-CIP for an increase of $63,752.47, and to accept the completion of the project as constructed for the Department of Public Works. I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan. Councilmember Wilmot.
Again, Mr. Gonzalez, as far as this concerns, the increases, if you wouldn't mind going through those items, why it's increased.
This is change order number 1 and final for the multi-use pass along the Powell Boulevard median. And the reason for the change order is that we had to relocate the alignment of the pass on the north side of the canal. We had to remove a garden that was out there, and we also needed to add additional concrete on the account that the multi-use pass that the parish was constructing could not get into the area where our bridge was going to take place because they started the project ahead of us. Therefore, we had to absorb the cost of a section of their multi-use pass. And that's pretty much the increase, in addition to, the adjustment of bid quantities, and there were many bid quantities. This 63,000 is roughly a 1.9% increase, which is, unheard of.
Thank you. That's all.
Mr. Ryan?
Thank you. Ryan Nugent, 5444 Erlanger in District 3. I'm actually here to deliver a great deal of praise tonight because I know that the mayor and the administration picked up on this project very early on, and it would have been a crime against the citizens of the city and of District 3 in particular to have let that funding go away. So thank you to everyone from the administration, Jose Gonzalez, the mayor, Amy Vallow, everyone who worked to make this project a reality. And I want to point out just a few things real quickly. We talk about this as being a walking trail, but it's a lot more than just a walking trail. Jefferson Parish has done a lot of walking trails. This is much more than that. It includes tens of thousands of dollars in drainage improvements, a very, very robust new pedestrian bridge, no less than $100,000 in new, very high-quality lighting. I think we had an issue with one fixture, but the occasional lemon is pretty common in LED lighting, and I'm certain that'll be resolved. A more important point, however, is that these are the same fixtures that were installed on Erlanger about 10 years ago. And in those 10 years, not a single one of those fixtures has malfunctioned or failed. That is a pretty incredible fail rate for LED lighting, and it is in this case an example of getting what you pay for. These are among, they're actually the same fixtures that are being used now on Williams Boulevard, that were also used in the north end of Williams Boulevard. They're very high quality, but as compared to what you'll get from the vast majority of manufacturers, it's a much better product, and clearly it's got that kind of longevity, so it's kind of worth it for the initial investment. So last thing, I just want to extend a few more thank yous to Cass Brothers, the contractor on this project, for doing a fantastic job, and to Digital Engineering, who was responsible primarily for the design work, especially to Frank, who actually gave me a call a couple weeks ago when I had a question about the much-needed connection to the sidewalk on Vintage. That last little piece of the project was just completed a few days ago, and it looks just as wonderful as everything else does. So thank you again to everybody who's made work to make this project a reality. This is a huge asset to the city and to District 3.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Lahat?
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Echo some of the things Ryan says. In terms of the overall project, this is, and credit to the administration, this is one of the things that they did a deep dive on when they got in. It's something we could do now, as to use the federal match, the 80-20 match, to get this project done. So they jumped in, they found this. obviously I wanted to do it immediately, and we pushed it. And Cass Brothers did a fantastic job. Administration did a great job in finding this when we started 3 years ago. In terms of the change order, one of the things that I dealt with was the original plans called for the bridge sidewalk to expand into a property line across the street with the Belacy family. It would have actually taken some of their property from them and rerouted the bicycle path. So we did not want that to happen. Nobody wanted that to happen. I didn't want any resident to lose a property line on their property. So we rerouted the bike path from the bike or walk path, whatever you want to call it, from the bridge left over the existing Palm Vista Garden, which we're moving down the street. We're in the process of redesigning that right now. So we definitely met the constituent concerns there of being without a property line or having people literally on their sidewalk, which whatever happened years ago, I don't know how that design was made, but we did fix it for the people. The connection to Vintage, Steve Saladano, a bunch of residents did contact me about that during the installation. And obviously they wanted a sidewalk connection point to not walk through the wet, muddy grass to the new thing. And Jose definitely jumped on that with me quick, and we were able to get that done for them almost in tandem with the completion of this project. So job well done by everybody, and thank you so much for pushing this forward in District 3.
Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15E is summary ordinance number 13,732. An ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Core and Main LP to provide sewer clamps, couplings, PVC, etc. on an as-needed basis in accordance with seal bid 24-6857 in an amount not to exceed $100,000 for the Department of Wastewater. I have a motion by Councilmember Wilmot, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15F is summary ordinance number 13,733. An ordinance accepting as substantially complete the agreement with Bow Brothers Construction Company, LLC for East Loyola Drive at Joe Yenny Boulevard emergency bridge repair and authorizing payment in the amount of $37,053.30 for the Department of Public Works. I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan.
Jose, that's the completion of the bridge, and that's our portion that we had to pay for it, or that was for the bridge?
Okay, this is the East Loyola Bridge over Canal number 7, which is right along Joe Jenny Boulevard, okay? Yes, Keith Conley, did I pronounce it right? He can't hear me? The bridge had to be closed as per instruction from DOTD engineers as well as parish engineers. They managed the, bridge inspection, so therefore we had to close the bridge. And the reason for having to close the bridge is because the approach slabs to the bridge on both sides had been undermined. Okay, so once the bridge had been closed, we had to fix the bridge, okay? So we had to enter into an emergency contract with Bow Brothers, to replace some of the timber bulkheads at the end vents under the bridge. That was done under an emergency contract with Bow Brothers. Once that was done, we had to puncture some holes on the approach slabs and pump some structural foam, okay, to fill in the void, okay? That work was also done, and that work, believe it or not, and we're very thankful, was funded by district, the parish of Rita Bohanna district, okay? The Bow Brothers amount was funded by the city, but the foam work was funded by discretionary funds from Rita Bohanna's funds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's in cooperation with Jefferson Parish that we got this done.
And it didn't take long. I mean, we moved fast on it. We got Bow Brothers on board, and then we got the phone contractor on there, a Jefferson Parish contract, and I don't know how long the bridge remained closed, but it wasn't long.
Fantastic.
Councilman Brannigan had his.
The bridge was closed about maybe 4 to 6 weeks. I think I saw Al Morella with a shovel under there before, and he was getting the mud out. But when you look at what the estimate was at 61,000, and it came in at 37, that's good news for the city.
The original estimate from Bo was, 60 some more thousand based on unknowns, unforeseen conditions. Luckily for us, they did not find any unforeseen conditions, and we just paid for actual lumber required and labor. So it came down. And the foam, the city didn't have to pay for that.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Gonzalez, but the total project was 37,000 roughly, and Arita Bohannon's council district helped with the project to the amount of 31,000. Is that correct?
Correct.
So it's a major part of it. So,
All with parish funds.
yes, wonderful. Thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks to Councilwoman Bohannon, and thanks for Jose and his team for getting on this and getting it taken care of so quickly. So, thank you.
That's another example of Kenner and Jefferson Parish, our leaders working together to expedite and get the repairs done as soon as possible. Thanks, everyone.
Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye. Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 16 is ordinances and resolutions in summary for first reading. Item 16A is an ordinance approving amendment number 1 to the agreement with ARCO Company Services Incorporated to perform load bank testing and preventative maintenance on various generators throughout the city of Kenner to increase the agreement amount by $150,000 for a total not to exceed amount of $450,000 for the General Services Department. Item 16B is an ordinance approving an agreement with H&O Investments LLC to provide grass cutting services citywide in an amount not to exceed $45,000 for the Department of Public Works. Item 16C is an ordinance approving an agreement with Gulf South Engineering and Testing Incorporated to provide testing services associated with the 42nd and Lake Trail and 31st and Loyola Sewer Lift Station Improvements Project and an amount not to exceed $10,000 for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16D is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Monopoly Rental Properties to provide soft starts and VFDs on an as-needed basis in accordance with sealed bid 24-6858, an amount not to exceed $200,000 for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16E is an ordinance declaring 4 ceramic kilns and various molds as surplus and authorizing its donation to Jefferson Parish. Item 16F is an ordinance approving the lease of a portion of Lot W-3, Square F, Kenner Olean Subdivision, Kenner, Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, more specifically the property at 402 Williams Boulevard, which said property is owned by the city of Kenner. Item 17 is reports from the council and our special committees. Councilman Brennan.
Thank you, Council Clerk. Yes, I'd just like to thank Mr. Glorioso and his department and the administration. We did a bunch of work recently through Risk Tree Service through an agreement that was approved a few meetings back, and a lot of tree trimming and cleaning up, pressure washing, digging out gardens that just needed attention along the Loyolas, near all 3 Loyolas. And that's going to continue a little bit through East-West and West Loyola as we're getting some more information on some just beautification a little bit, trying to clean it up and make it look a little better. So really appreciate all the assistance and the diligence in getting that handled for us. Thank you.
Seeing nothing else. Item 18 is new business. We have none. Item 19 is unfinished business and/or motions to reconsider or remove from a tabled position. We have none. Item 20 is persons wishing to address the council on special subject matters.
Councilwoman Dunn.
As you all know, that we had we were supposed to have the Martin Luther King Day March and ceremony, but we had to postpone it. We did not cancel it. And so on the 15th of February, we will be having just the ceremony. The reason we're not doing the march because the Driftwood Parade, which you hear about later, was already set, so we won't have police protection for the march. But we will be also incorporating the Martin Luther King Day ceremony along with Black History kickoff. And so the community development, they are partnering with us for the kickoff of Black History. So we're asking if any of you all can attend. I know you all were already obligated to the parade, but if you can attend, we would really appreciate it. It's indoors. It would be at Buddy Lawson on Saturday, February the 15th from 4 to 6. So thank you so much.
Councilman Lahat.
Yes, and as we said earlier, the Driftwood Parade's on February 15th. Festivities start in the morning 11 with the toast and king and queen. We also, and the parade starts at 1 o'clock. The traffic restrictions during that day, everybody in the parade route should have gotten some type of pamphlet showing when you get in the neighborhood, when you can't. Obviously, when the parade rolls, you can't drive around the neighborhood. I want to thank the members of the police department, the Kenner Fire Department, everybody, General Service Department for giving your resources that day. The residents of Driftwood and District 3 truly appreciate it, and we hope for great weather. Thank you.
Mr. Greg Taft, front and center, sir.
Greg Taft, 5th District. What I want to talk about tonight is the last council meeting I attended, I brought up the budget for the fire department, and Elizabeth was gracious enough to go over it with me. But now for the administration, I have a question that probably not only do I have, but there's probably a lot of people out there that have the same question. Right now, if you take the budget that we have, the millage, with the exception of a little over $1 million, is what's paying the fire department. What that did, that put $5+ million in the general fund for the city to use. Now, my memory's not very good, so you have to forgive me. But I did remember something about somewhere after the budget meetings that some money was going to be used for the building that needs to go up on Loyola, for the fire department, etc. What I'm concerned about is that the people voted for a millage, a high millage, which they're struggling to keep up with. So my question comes down to this. Do we have a 5, 10, 15, 20-year plan for that money that's in the general fund that was saved because of the millage that the voters voted for, thinking they're giving it all to the fire department? At what point do we get the equipment upgraded? At what point have we projected to have these stations built? And at what point will the fire department then be in a position where they could maintain without having to buy new equipment? Because right now I understand we got bad equipment, et cetera. But my concern is this: in 5 years, that $5 million actually becomes over $28 million. That will be in the general fund for the city. In 10 years, it becomes $55 million. And then in 15 years, it becomes over $80 million. The reason I'm asking, because if we have a plan of how long it's going to take to replace equipment, to have the buildings built, we should know some of those costs, why we put such a burden on the people, and at what point do we feel we'll be able to maybe, get to the point where we got the fire department where it needs to be. That is my concerns, and that's what I like someone to be able to answer. They don't have to do it tonight because it may take some time, but whenever they can, maybe by the next meeting. Because I missed the last couple meetings, so I wasn't able to bring it up sooner. And I'm sorry, I'm going over. Thank you.
And Mr. Gregg, you were missed. You were missed. Mr. Ryan, front and center.
Thank you, Councilman.
My name is Ryan Nugent, 5444 Erlanger in District 3. I'll be pretty brief. There were just a few things that I wanted to mention. One, because I know this was discussed at the last meeting, and it kind of went into further discussion after the public comment section, and then I forgot to mention it earlier, but there was talk about or concerns about golf carts on the trail on Power Boulevard. And I think we probably need to kind of, I don't think this is a huge issue right now, and there were already strategies for addressing this that have been discussed. But I know, in particular, when Ms. Vallow and I walked the trail one day, one thing that we had discussed was the possibility of bollards. And I just wanted to throw that out there just as something to potentially consider if this does become a problem. I wanted to try to do a little research before the meeting tonight to actually figure out like what was the average width of a golf cart, to figure out how these things would actually need to be spaced. But it's one option that hadn't been talked about, so again, I just kind of wanted to throw it out there. Second two things are the second thing, you've heard me many times be critical of the things that I think that the city is not doing, and I'm sure it probably hear it again. But I definitely want to give credit where credit is due, and over the course of the last few days in particular, as I have driven around the city taking care of my own business, I don't think I can remember a time where I have seen so many city vehicles running around, getting stuff done. Just the prep that Kenner has undertaken, I think, I'm guessing in advance of the Super Bowl, has actually been really impressive, and I just want to commend everyone from Public Works and Field Services who's been putting in all that work. Last comment was just a personal point of excitement for me. I'm obviously, because I've spoken it before, I'm definitely one of those people that cares a lot about what happens to the Esplanade, and hate seeing it just sit there out of commerce. It made me really excited when I saw that they were actually using that facility to shuttle employees for the Super Bowl. And not only that, but there was an indication. Now, I know we all wish they would do a better job maintaining certain other aspects of that property, including the ring road. But to see them actually restoring that building, it indicates to me that they actually see the value in that asset. And that was very encouraging to me as a constituent who cares about that economic asset for the city. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Chief Norris.
I just wanted to let you know, the council know that this morning, several members of the Kenner Fire Department participated in a filming with the NFL that's going to precede the Super Bowl this morning. Several members of the Fox News cast team were there. A lot of the NFL players were there, as well as police, fire, EMS from around this region, and it's supposed to air in the as part of the preview to the Super Bowl. And I think our guys was pretty well represented and well filmed in this process this morning. It happened about 2:30, and some of our guys were there. So be on the lookout for that before the Super Bowl this Sunday.
Thank you, Chief. Anyone else? Meeting adjourned.